Hello,
Hello,
everybody. It's Julia and
Don.
here with this week's edition of Your Weekly Miracle for Your Sacred Union. And
Yet
yeah,
another one.
the flow of life, how to trust the flow of life by not pushing the river.
This was I wanted to call this "Don't Push the River."
Yeah, we just had a big, like,
Something that was told to me a lot when I went through my decades of therapy. As I was getting something, I would really want to dig into it and just yeah, oh, and I can do this and
I
I can
can
do
do it now,
that.
I can do
Yeah,
it, and,
yeah,
and, and let's go,
yeah.
go, go, go. It's like,
And I was always told, "Don't push the river." And
yeah,
why is that?
well, it's a great metaphor, like the river being your life, right? And life has its own rhythm, has its own pace, like the river, and it, you can't push a river. I mean, that's really the basics of this, isn't it? That's why it's such a great phrase. Don't push it, because it doesn't matter how much effort and push you put into the river, it's not going to go any faster, it's not going to go any slower, it's just going to go at water's pace. So you can't anyway. So it's kind of about really efforting, and to the point of just over efforting.
Over efforting
Over
something a lot.
efforting.
I have a friend who writes songs, and he writes many a week, and he's always
He's on a mission.
efforting to
On a
get them done.
mission.
And in a creative process that's almost a divine sort of process, you can't push the
The
divine
creative
intelligence
flow.
of creative flow.
Yeah. Creative flow is something that you can feel it when you're in it, and you can feel it when you're not. And you're not meant to be in it 100% of the time. It's a thing that moves and comes and goes, like the current, like the flow of water. So, in order to let things flow, we need to be relaxed. We need to kind of relax ourselves and be in more of a state of allowing than efforting.
Which can be really hard when you're going through a big life change.
Yeah, and when
You
you're in
really,
transition
oh yeah, I get this,
and you
and yeah,
want things to change, this is the other thing. Like, the efforting can also be a state of wanting. I want this. I want
yeah,
this car. I want this big house, or whatever. It could be something more spiritual than that,
and
or
as we
less.
all know, wanting is just keeping yourself in a state of not having. So to always want and to always be reaching, you're never really being or having.
And you're not in the present and in the state of, like, I'm glad for what I have now, and acting as if it's already here, because on
Yeah.
some timeline it already is here, because in some dimension you have access to all of it anyway. But there's this differentiation between grabbing, and when we grab and we want and we effort, we restrict flow, and the water is going to stop. It's like the faucet on the tap. We're just going to turn off that flow. Whereas if we relax, take a breath, we still know what we'd like and what we'd want, but we stop pushing, we stop efforting, and we take those steps towards it, but without this sort of conditioning that we're placing on it, and the faucet opens up again. And we also, I mean, for me anyway, I don't know about you, Dawn, but, like, the timing. This is the tricky thing in this human dimension that we're in. It can feel like we're never going to get there, and it's never going to come to fruition. And especially if we're in transition and we kind of in that stage of, like, well, I've been there, I know what I don't want, now this is where I'm going. The timing of what's coming isn't for us to know, not completely.
It's like trying to almost, it just occurred to me, like trying to push healing.
Yeah.
Healing happens, it's a divine thing. It happens in its own timeline. Sometimes we just have to, I know as a cancer survivor, there were times where I wanted to be better, but I just had to sort of lay back and let the healing happen.
Yeah. And being in a state of grace, almost.
Yes,
Just
yes.
being in that. Because we're not in our highest place when we're pushing and efforting and forcing. So, that's really all we wanted to talk about this week. Don't push the river.
At least try not to.
Yeah. And allow life to flow.
Yeah.
And you actually enjoy it more that way. You get more chance to stop and smell the flowers and listen to the bees.
And just float.
And enjoy it. And when we enjoy, even more flow. It just comes in because we're in our highest state, which is a state that we're meant to be in naturally. A state of being happy, being content, being in joy and bliss.
Yes.
Yes. And then next week we'll be talking about the word yes and a couple of other words that really do have an amazing effect on your life.
Yes, the power of yes.
The power of yes, and 2 other words that we're not going to tell you about just yet. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do subscribe if you like what you see. And
leave comments if you'd like to, if you feel so inclined.
We love to see
hear
comments. And if you know anyone who this might resonate for, please feel free to forward the video and so they can watch it. We'll see you next time. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.